This titanium CMS tutorial will show you how to add content as shown on this page below. Content is one of the most common things you'll be adding to your website, so it's good that you understand how the module is used and how you can easily control it. To begin, I'm going to start with a blank page, but keep in mind you can add content to any page that has content already on it or not. To get started, make sure you're logged in as an administrator to see this menu. Go ahead and click Edit Page. Go ahead and click on the green button, and you'll see a list of available modules that appear. We're going to go ahead and simply select Content. You'll notice the Manage Content window appears. Now, you can either start by typing directly into this window. I'm going to go ahead and type in some text now. Let's just go over some features that you're probably already familiar with. If you highlight any of the text, you can go ahead and, just like Word or any word editing programs that you're familiar with, I can go ahead and bold, italicize, underline. I can also center, right justify, or left justify my content. Now, a couple nice things also to keep in mind. I've got other additional buttons here. If I highlight a word, for instance, commonly people to type in things like, so if I wanted users to click here, I would simply mouse over the button that looks like a chain link, and up pulls a tool that allows me to type in a URL. Now I can specify where that link will open. I can have it open in the exact same tab that the user was just on, or I can have it open into a new window, or I can even have it open on top of the frame. So for this instance, I'm going to go ahead and select Open in this window. I'm going to go ahead and hit Insert. That the words click here are in the blue, which commonly indicates a link that users can click on. Now, if I want to see the HTML behind any of my content, which frequently users want to see, I click on the HTML button. Now, you don't need to get into this. This is just simply to show users that an HTML editor is available. Other nice things, I can insert an image from the file library. I'm going to show you some advanced features of that in just a moment. As you continue scrolling over, I can insert a link, such as a PDF or a Word document if I want someone to download. Here I can embed media if desired. I'm going to go ahead and hit Save, and we'll add another content area. You'll see why I'm doing this in just a moment. Now in this example, I'm going to go ahead and create a table. I mouse over, and you'll notice the words Insert a New Table appears. And here I can determine the number of columns and rows that I want to appear. Now I can select right within the cells that I want to type. So for instance, I can say, if I want to add an additional row to that table, I simply right click, I scroll down to row, and I can insert row after. And I can continue to repeat a table as many times as I want. If I want certain sections highlighted, I can bold them. I can even change the color of them if desired. But once I have that, I can go ahead and hit Save. And now I have a table. I can come back into my table, and I can hit Enter to give me some padding. Now you notice I've got additional padding. By default with HTML, if I hit a simple return, it will give me 2 spaces. If I only want 1 space, make sure to hold the Shift key and then press the Enter or Return button. You'll notice it only went down 1 space. If I hit Save, after I hit Save, you'll notice I have less of a space now. Another option that you can do within Settings is I can put a margin. Now this will put a margin around the entire block of content. So if I put 15 pixel margin, let's go ahead and hit Save, you'll notice now that that just indented that, but it also indented from the top and the bottom. So that's a good way to also control. If something's too close to the edge, go ahead and use that margin tool. So if you need to move content over, go ahead and use that tool to push things over from the edge, as shown here. As you can see, the first and last name is closer to the edge, as this is not as close because I use that margin tool. I'm going to go ahead and create an additional paragraph. I follow the same steps. I click on Content. Now commonly people type up their information in Word or Excel, which is fine, but make sure that you do not copy directly into the cell right from Word. You'll notice you have a tool in here that says Paste from Word. This is how you want to copy in content that you use from Word. Now the reason being is that Word adds additional tags and characters that we don't really want within your HTML content. Simply put, just make sure if you're using Word to type up your content that you insert using our Word editor. Keep in mind with your content, you can go ahead and change colors, you can change font size, you can even choose font family. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now if desired, I can put additional spaces above or below content or use my margin tool as shown earlier. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to put a margin of 15 pixels. And there you can see basically that I've got margin that's pushed over. Anytime I don't want a content area, simply highlight over the paragraph you want deleted, simply delete it, and the paragraph that's either above or below will be adjusted automatically. Another nice feature is inserting images into your content. So what you do is, here I'm going to click on Insert an Image from the file library. So I've got my image. If desired, I can go ahead and shrink the size of that image. Now, this is a nice tool. I'll show an example here. So I'm going to leave it as normal. I'm going to insert it, and I'm going to insert some text. So here I've got my text, and it's appearing below the image. Now, oftentimes, people want their images or content to appear right next to their image. So here's how you do that. I'm going to go ahead and add another content module. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to insert an image from the file library. I'm going to select my image, but instead of leaving this as normal, I'm going to select this as left, insert that. You'll notice now I can type right next to the image. I can even use my word editor, paste that, insert. I want to make that a little bigger. I can change the font size, and hit save. Now here I've got two examples. One with content below the image, one with the image directly to the left of the content. These are just some of the basics that help you get started adding content to your website. It's a good idea to break your paragraphs up into sections. That way, if desired, you can drag and drop them anywhere you want. And if there's a paragraph that you don't want, simply delete it, and the page is laid out how you want. The nice thing about Titanium, it allows you to drag and drop modules, such as this content module, into any area of the page. So if I click and hold my mouse, I can come over, and anytime you see the red line, you can just let go, and there you can see your content in another area. If I want it in a different place, I simply drag and drop and place it in the position I want. If the page is how I desire, simply click Save, and you're done. This concludes the training of how to add content using the Titanium CMS tool.